Lynn Toler's salary and net worth. American judge Lynn Toler is the host of the reality court program Divorce Court on television. Lynn Toler is worth $20 million in total. Since 2006, Lynn Toler has presided over divorce court as a judge. In 1981, Toler graduated with a bachelor's degree in English and American literature from Harvard University. She then went on to the University of Pennsylvania Law School to obtain a graduate degree in law. In Cleveland Heights, Ohio, the municipal court had only Lynn as a judge for 8 years. She was a member of numerous boards during this time, such as the Cleveland Domestic Violence Center, the National Alliance for the Mentally Ill, NANI, and the Juvenile Diabetes Board. Toler also designed and oversaw an adolescent girl mentoring program. In 2002, she received the Cleveland Domestic Violence Center's Humanitarian of the Year Award. My Mother's Rules, A Practical Guide to Becoming an Emotional Genius, and Put It in Writing are 2 books that Toler has written. Living in Mesa, Arizona, are Lynn and her spouse Eric Mumford. Together, they have 6 children and have been married since 1989. Lynn Toler's salary per episode. Lynn received $300,000 a season when she took over divorce court. That was swiftly increased to $500,000 for the second season. In 2011, following 5 seasons, she worked out a contract to make $3 million annually. She made $5 million in 2017. The program was taped in Los Angeles from 2006 to 2018. It has been taped in Atlanta since 2018. Every year, divorce court records about 160 episodes. That works out to $31,250 for Lynn per episode. She records 16 days a year, 10 episodes a day. Thus, her daily income is $312,500. After being married to Eric Mumford for 31 years, Judge Lynn Toler, better known for the court series Divorce Court, said that the show was the reason she was able to keep her marriage intact. Judge Lynn Toler spent more than 13 years assisting couples in regaining control over their troubled marriages by providing wise counsel as well as the most equitable decision possible for each case. Despite the common misconception that a divorce court judge is an authority on marriage, Toler has been open about the difficulties she and her husband of 30 years, Eric Mumford, whom she frequently refers to as Big A, had at home. Toler described how divorce court helped her understand what was wrong in her marriage and how it ultimately saved it in an opinion piece she wrote for the HuffPost in 2012. AP Pro Ucheng other CUPLEs. Toler clarified that she gained important insight from the couples who appeared on the show, even though they were unaware of the reasons behind their marriage's initial breakdown. Toler claimed that the show's divorce was friendly and occurred because she desired a different course for it. Each partner would frequently be shocked to hear what the other had to say during the brief time allotted for the couples to tell their stories, indicating a serious communication breakdown. The judge stated they frequently discovered that they were splitting up not because one or both of them were wrong, but rather because of unexamined needs. Observing that sequence of events unfold in front of her assisted the judge in identifying the issues in her own marriage. A lot of QMPRO is being made. Mumford had already experienced a failed marriage and was a father of 4 children when they first met. While Toler was still learning the ropes of marriage and childrearing, he had already made a great deal of sacrifice for his family. He saw something fresh and unencumbered in me. I looked at Big E and saw stable, safe, and secure. He saw me as the first installment in a lot of choices he was owed, Toler continued. Mumford was willing to give Toler the children she desired, so they ended up with 2 more sons despite already having 4. However, the judge stated that Mumford was not allowed to discuss anything else after that. Toler would always object when they were in disagreement or when Toler wanted something that Mumford did not. But to avoid confrontation, Toler chose to back down each time and let him have his way rather than having a conversation. Gradually and unseen, Toler taught her husband that he could make her stop pushing and shift positions just by furrowing his brow. I was saying I'm sorry for even wanting to do something he didn't like, she thought to herself. By the time of their 19th anniversary, she had lost confidence in her house and he was getting annoyed with transition. Toler knew she needed to take a step back and examine her marriage from the outside after having her aha moment on the show. After that, she and her spouse had an open dialogue for the next 18 months in an attempt to resolve their issues. But soon as she moved past her miscommunication and anger and began to genuinely explore and communicate her fears, it didn't take long for him to do the same. Toler stated in her essay, "We then decided to fight the problem instead of fighting one another." She went on to say that although their journey does not ensure that they will live happily ever after, they are being considerate of one another. "We no longer act on that right now feeling without considering long-term consequences," she said. "We have consciously chosen to enter into marriage." Lynn Toler Bide says, "Hello." It was Toler and Mumford's 31st wedding anniversary recently. Even though Toler's marriage appears to be going well as a result of what she learned on divorce court, her relationship with the show ended. After 13 years in charge of the gavel, Toler announced in March of last year that she was leaving the show. Judge Faith Jenkins, who is well known for her judge show Judge Faith, will take over for Toler. Toler claimed that although the negotiations were unsuccessful, the divorce from the show was friendly and occurred because she wanted to take it in a different direction. Speaking with AJC about spending more time at home with her spouse than usual due to the quarantine, Toler says she's not concerned about their current situation because they've figured out a way to talk to each other. "We recognize that this is the problem. We are not the cause of it," she stated, adding that she always speaks quietly and gently to avoid causing a scene. She said, "I'm just trying to figure it out. We bring it up. We find a solution." In what way did Toler honor her spouse? For over 10 days following her husband's death, Toler kept the news of his passing private. She posted a message of encouragement on Facebook on New Year's Eve, all the while grinning. Even though it was a positive video, she did mention something horrible that happened to her over the holidays, but she didn't say what it was at the time. Later, she announced her husband's passing on Facebook. She shared a picture of the two laughing when they were younger. Toler posted the image with the straightforward caption, "I love you forever, every time." And she gave us the date of his death. Supporters quickly comforted her, offering their condolences and expressing their love and prayers for her, her family, and Mumford's kids. One admirer expressed amazement that despite going through such a trying moment, she uploaded a motivational video for all of her followers to watch and start the new year with a positive outlook. Additionally, Toler shared a picture of Mumford and herself on Instagram. She put the picture to music and said he was a beautiful man. In addition, she admitted, "I am in a million pieces." What sort of union did the pair have? Toler acknowledges that her marriage was not always ideal, despite the fact that she hosted marriage boot camp and appeared on divorce court. She claimed that Mumford and her had experienced their fair share of marital problems. She previously admitted that there were difficult times in their relationship because it was one-sided. She addressed this problem, though, by intentionally changing the way she spoke to her husband. According to Toler, once she started communicating better, her spouse was able to follow suit, and they were able to resolve their differences in a way that worked for both of them. She said that she had to let go of a great deal of resentment. She went on to say that although they had good communication, she was aware that their relationship might not last. But she expressed gratitude for their union, saying, "Now that we are married, our marriage is better because it is a mindful one. We no longer act in the moment without thinking through the long-term effects. We have consciously chosen to enter into a marriage." Since then, a large number of followers have left comments on Toler's posts expressing their sympathy for her. Others were thankful that Toler continued to share beautiful things on social media despite going through the most difficult heartbreak.